We are on the morning break on the first day of questioning of HN58, the former Detective Chief Inspector of the SDS from 1998 till 2001. I think it's fair to say that his memory has been appalling, unsurprisingly. You don't get the impression that the oath he swore on his Bible was worth much. I'm not alone. I'm joined off screen by Jessica from Police Spies Out of Lives. It's quite difficult to find a great deal that he's actually admitted to in what he's been questioned about this morning.
I think the answer to that is I can't quite recall what he said so far.
I mean, to be fair, rather than not being able to quite recall, he often said that I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I don't know anything.
It's so frustrating, and it's even worse the fact that we can't see him. You know, we sat here in the room and not being able to see him and to see, sort of whether or not he actually can remember. I mean, I don't think his memory is as bad as he seems to pretend it is.
Barr has had to indicate that he's nodding on occasion, suggesting that he's not particularly engaged with the process properly. Very early on, we got onto the tradecraft manual, the sexual liaison section, his knowledge of sexual relationships. He just accepted, yes, it was an outrage, but he didn't know anything about it. He didn't tell them about sexual relationships. He knew that they would know that it wasn't authorized, but the only guidance they got was that it was permissive.
Yeah, I don't know how he would know that they weren't authorised, because he didn't tell them. None of the others told them. They gave them the tradecraft manual, which said that it was okay. So is this osmosis? We would pick up osmosis through osmosis that it was not okay, although no one told them that it was not okay. It's in the tradecraft manual, and written by Shitface and Coles, is the gift that just keeps on giving, doesn't it? Sort of the bodies are kind of piling up behind, his, behind him and his tradecraft manual. But he's actually admitted to reading it. I think he's the only one that actually read it, but didn't see anything sort of wrong with it, not a problem. Also wasn't interested, never asked any questions about the fact that it was, in the tradecraft manual it tells about, the sort of the deceit, the divorces, and, sort of the repercussions that have happened because of some disastrous relationships that the spy cops had, but he doesn't know anything about that.
No.
So it's ironic because they, lots of things that they say, and that are, they actually note down in their reports, it's all gossip and sexual innuendo, people's, private lives, the sex lives of, of underage children and things, they loved a good old sort of, gossipy story. But when it comes to what spy cops did in the past and, what sort of the ramifications of that, I didn't want to ask. Didn't know. No curiosity.
None at all. These detectives just not really interested. It seems. He was taken through Peter Francis as one of the officers who was deployed during his watch. Or had been deployed during his watch, came out under his watch. That was hilarious. He didn't know anything about that. There was anything controversial about, nothing memorable. No, he was fine.
No, the criminality and the cocaine.
No.
The what now?
The what now? Yeah. Oh, does he write anything about him going incommunicado? No, nothing. No, he was good. He came out of his deployment and was looking forward to his new deployment somewhere else in the special branch. Don't know what the fuss is about.
No, and is it Professor A?
Professor A, not Professor X, which I had to stop myself from typing.
I'm just, Professor A in the video with the revolver.
Yes, yeah. He came with, he's showing documents, and he went, I don't know anything about this. And they had to be shown that, it says in the documents that he met with this professor, and what was that about? And he goes, I don't remember. But it says there it was about psychiatry or something. There were some, when he was presented with documents, there were some very long silences. At one point, I did call out for a nurse, which nobody responded to, but that was quite amusing.
Well, having watched the other managers and the way and the difficulty that they seem to have with reading, and with following it with their finger,
and mouthing along
it out loud,
Yes.
You know, perhaps the problem is his reading.
I mean, it could be. I mean, we're getting someone, as you say, because we can't see the face. It's very difficult to know how much of this is an act, how much of it is that he is genuinely cognitively impaired. He's certainly presenting as a doddery old man who doesn't know what's going on. And I do wonder how we're going to get through 3 days of him being questioned.
Yeah, I can't. After about 10 minutes, I just thought if he's going to carry on, because initially it was sort of a lot of like one-word answers,
Yes.
you know, along with the denials.
Denials and can't remembers.
And yeah, it's it's going to be a bit of a challenge for David Barr to draw out some of the responses, because I think even sort of the awkward silence doesn't prompt him to fill it.
No, it really doesn't.
No, it'll be a challenge, but. Then he has. I mean, already he has made a few more admissions than some of the others.
Yes.
About stuff that you sort of think, oh, I'm surprised he said that. It's. Yeah, I don't know, but he's. Again, it's the fact that we can't see him is another major problem. Why? I haven't sort of fathomed why. What is so. So bad about him that we're such a threat. Yeah, it's frustrating. I say this is the only day that I'm going to be here to see it. I think I'm going to rant from home. I'm not missing anything.
Ranting from home, it's the new way. We did get taken through HN58, Christine Green, cover name Christine Green, and we saw again that document written by Bob Lambert about the fact that she wasn't getting any useful intelligence on the ALF and that she was going to be withdrawn. And then we just got that second document from 27 days later saying that she had now recently got involved in a small group of the ALF that was involved in serious criminality. And what we see, what this actually foreshadows is the fact that she'd got herself into a sexual relationship with Joe Tax, and by that was able to get much more significant reporting.
Yeah, and I would say as well, I'm having been a good friend of Joe's. The agent provocateur. I've known Joe for a long time and never got. Arrested with him a few times, but never into this serious criminal activity and stuff. So I would the agent provocateur that they all. That they were all pushing us to the things that were pushing us to do. I would say that absolutely sort of covers that. The same. It was Matt Rayner, Shipface and Coles, and Christine Green. They were sort of all in the same groups. So I know I knew Matt Rayner as well, and there was definitely following on from Lambert. There was pushing us to do stuff to sort of to ramp things up, and that's I think that's exactly what she did. But it was the first time I'd heard that document. What she said about one of the what a bitch.
Yeah, really, a really. To say that it's full of pejoratives would be an understatement. A report on somebody which talks about their personal hygiene, and there's 3 paragraphs of. Really quite offensive stuff about an activist who supposedly everybody else was laughing at behind their back, but only downwind, not downwind, or essentially this idea that they smelt so bad, their personal habits were so unbearable, but that they hung around and people didn't like them. Really gross. Unclear what policing value that was. HN58 was like, yes, it's unprofessional. Agreed it was unprofessional. Agreed it was disgusting. That it was. It also accepted that it was dehumanizing when done with the compound effect of so many of these reports, and would lead to changes in behavior and attitudes. He didn't seem to kind of grasp that that he's accepting essentially that's what the unit has been doing for decades. We had that section. Of the leaving card for Peter Francis, which had the immortal words, "They're weary fuckers and they deserve to die." He said that, that wasn't normal to be said, but yes, we called them all wearies, and yes, that was derogatory. Asked what the attitude of his officers was towards those people that they infiltrated. He said, they were people that were in groups that you had to infiltrate and target and then report on. And to which Barr had to say, that wasn't quite the question. The question was about the attitudes of your officers towards them. What do they really think of them? We had the silence. He simply, he either was unwilling or unable to answer.
He's had to have a few things explained to him.
Yes.
Where he, to buy himself a little bit of extra time, and that he, he glimpsed on not understanding the question.
Yeah.
It's there's kind of, I'm offended on a whole different level today.
Yes.
And particularly like by the Christine Green thing, it's the first time I've seen that. It's just.
It's gross. It's so gross, but not out of place with so many of the other reports that we've seen.
I mean, to be fair, my view towards the police then and now is pretty much the same as theirs is towards us. They're fuckers, and they deserve to die.
I mean, I couldn't possibly comment.
Just quoting from a legal.
I want for them what they want for us. I think that seems fair. We've had some comments. There's one here from Mr. Abney. Anonymity is crazy, obviously, and while it feels like not helping the inquiry at all, definitely isn't helping himself. Barr is not pulling his punches, in my opinion, and quite a lot of his managerial tenure is documented. If questions so far are anything to go by. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's really clear to say that, that the receipts are there. We know what happened whilst he was head of the unit. Him saying that he can't remember is no defence at all, really.
No. I say, I mean, I'm pleased that it is Barr that's doing the question, because I think, this guy's not going to be easy. And,
no.
I think it's going to take someone like Barr. I also think he needs to kind of get into his step a little bit, and not accept some of the answers. I think he needs, to fire back and sort of, drill down into some of these I can't remember answers.
I mean, to be fair, he did a couple of times, particularly when it came to the stuff about the tradecraft manual. Isn't the truth of it that this work was considered so important? Didn't matter what happened to the women. Isn't the truth of it you didn't consider what happened to the women? You didn't consider what happened to the partners or wives? Don't you accept this is misogyny? I mean, HN58 was like, yes, I didn't think of them. Yes, it is misogyny. No defence whatsoever. But he couldn't remember it though, so
Is misogyny? You can't remember it.
Well, who knows? If a woman's abused and nobody remembers, does it even? I mean, God knows. We've got a lot more to go. We've just finished off with Barr saying that he was going to come back to a document in the hope that it would jog the memory of the witness. I don't know how much. I mean, there's going to take a lot of bloody jogging.
I can jog but it's quite difficult as well, because we don't have access to any of the documents either.
No,
so
that is frustrating.
In the dark as he seems to be.
Yes, in the past, being in the public gallery, though we're not able to see the witness, in the past we have been able to see the documents as they're being referred to. This time it's not the case. It hasn't been made clear why.
There's technical issues, but an inquiry of this magnitude and costing this much, obviously there are technical issues.
I mean, it's a farce really when all they need to be able to do is put the document, which is being, they're being drawn up by someone in the room. They're grabbed and put on screen for the witness. I don't see why that feed can't be presented to the public gallery. It has been in the past. I previously erroneously said that there was voice modulation. There is not voice modulation. Sadly, that is actually his real voice. Poor bastard.
The people watching that have said he sounds like Davros.
Yeah, quite.
That's just what he sounds like.
That's what he sounds like. HN53 on Thursday will have voice modulation, not HN58 today. I do apologise. That was my mistake. Though I wasn't the only one who thought that, and it was confirmed by the people, so I assumed it was correct. So I apologise for that incorrectness. Anything else you'd like to mention? It's only a short break. We ought to head back in.
Yeah, no, don't want to miss the thing.
Don't want to miss the thing. Thanks for joining us. Well, please like, share, subscribe to these videos. There's 30